Welcome to AI Pulse, your rapid-fire briefing on the world of artificial intelligence. It's March 24th, 2026, and things are moving faster than ever, from the C-suite all the way to the very definition of intelligence itself. So let's jump right in. All right, we're kicking things off with a question that, frankly, sounds a little bit like science fiction. But it's a question that is now being asked in the boardrooms of some of the biggest companies in the world. Is the top job about to get a digital upgrade? Because that's really our first big story today. We're seeing AI make the leap from being just a tool for employees to being developed for the executive suite. We're talking about the highest levels of corporate power. Yep, you heard that right. Mark Zuckerberg is personally building an AI agent to help him run Meta. Now, don't think of this like a simple chatbot. Think of it more like a digital chief of staff, something that can chew through mountains of data, simulate different strategies, and give him insights in, well, seconds. And this slide really nails the huge shift that's happening. You know, the old way, a CEO has to wait. They wait for reports to trickle up through layers and layers of management. But this new way, it's direct. A leader can just ask the AI agent themselves, getting instant, unfiltered data and completely bypassing that old, slow hierarchy. It's a pretty radical way to speed things up and flatten the entire company structure. And listen, this is not just a meta story. The whole market for enterprise AI is basically a war zone right now. OpenAI is making a huge aggressive play for business customers, and they're jumping on an opportunity after their big rival, Anthropic, apparently got blacklisted from government contracts over some security concerns. So what's at stake here? Well, this number should give you an idea. The numbers are just astronomical. OpenAI is reportedly cruising towards an IPO with a valuation of $730 billion. And why? Because it's backed by almost 1 billion active users. That's the kind of money that's fueling this race to put an AI in every C-suite. Okay, so let's shift gears. We're going to move from AI's power in the business world to an even bigger, kind of more philosophical question about what it can ultimately do. And one of the most powerful people in the industry just threw a match on the fire of this great debate. First, let's get on the same page. When we talk about AGI, or artificial general intelligence, we're talking about the big one. This is the holy grail of AI research, right? A machine that can think, reason, and learn just like a human can across all sorts of different tasks, not just one specific thing. And here it is, the bombshell, the quote that sent ripples through the entire tech world. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the company that makes about 80% of the chips that power this whole revolution, he was asked when we'll get AGI. His answer? I think we've achieved AGI. Just wow. Now, to really get why this is such a huge deal, you gotta understand what's been happening behind the scenes. For a while now, most tech leaders have been really careful to not use the term AGI. They're worried about overhyping things, and they're worried about regulators. But with just one sentence, Huang completely blew up that quiet agreement. He's forcing everyone to talk about it again, out in the open. Okay, but while all the executives are debating AGI, the reality is that AI is already being put to work in some really concrete ways all around the globe. So let's leave the theory behind and take a quick world tour. Our first stop is Madrid, Spain. A hospital there just installed the world's first AI-powered spectral CT scanner. So in plain English, this thing can basically see color in X-rays, which lets it tell the difference between tissues in a way old scanners just couldn't. And the result? A massive 136% improvement in diagnostic contrast, helping doctors find diseases way earlier and more accurately. Next up, we're heading to Suzhou, China, where an entirely new job is being created: robot trainer. You have people putting on motion capture suits and literally teaching humanoid robots how to do physical jobs, like making a cup of coffee. It's an amazing way to bridge that gap between digital code and the real physical world. And for our last stop, we're back in San Jose, USA, for the debut of the world's first AI factory on wheels. And I'm not kidding, it's a complete, ready-to-go AI system built inside a bus. The whole idea is they can just drive it up to a company, plug it in, and show them exactly what enterprise AI can do for their business all in a single day. Of course, with all this incredible progress, the other shoe has to drop. As these AI tools get more powerful and easier to get, the risks they create are growing just as fast. So now, there's a huge race to build up our defenses. And this slide really lays out how sophisticated these threats have become. Look at this crypto scam.
It starts with a bunch of hype online for a fake AI project. Then the scammers use AI to fake social media accounts of famous founders to make it look legit. They trick people into visiting a fake website that just drains their crypto wallets, and then they top it all off with a classic pump and dump. It's a complex, nasty con.
And the damage is real. We're not talking about people losing a few bucks here. When someone falls for one of these scams, the average loss is $10,000. But the big tech companies are fighting back. Google just announced they're launching a new cyber unit that's designed to go on the offensive. They're not just going to write reports about attacks anymore. Their whole mission is to actively hunt down and take apart the digital tools that criminals are using. This is a massive change in strategy. You know, we're moving away from the old reactive model where we just analyze attacks after the damage is done. Now, the new approach is proactive. It's about going on offense to stop these threats before they can hurt anyone. So let's zoom out and connect all these dots. What's the one big takeaway from everything we've talked about today? Well, if I had to pick one word, it would be acceleration. Just think about what we've seen on this one single day. AI is moving into the CEO's office. It's changing how we diagnose diseases in hospitals. That huge debate about AGI has been thrown right back into the spotlight. And at the same time, this arms race between AI threats and AI defenses is heating up like crazy. Every single part of this is moving faster and faster all at once, which really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In just a few years, AI has gone from being a simple tool to a kind of partner, and now a potential leader. The speed of this change is just staggering. And the only question that really matters is, are we ready for what's coming next?